Why would you emphasize a disability? It's not who we are, but we make it about who we are because we judge by the external characteristics. That's just what we have. That's not who we are. The Alinker is a 3-wheeled walking bike, 2 front wheels and 1 back wheel with an overarching frame, seating assembly on the top. And I designed it for who we are, because most medical devices approach disability as people that have a body with a problem. And people with disabilities are not a body with a problem. We are whole human beings. So I designed it for how we want to feel and how we want to experience ourselves, regardless of mobility challenges. How the Alinker started by a comment that my mom made. We were walking together on a plane in the Netherlands, and she saw some elderly people there with, scooters, rollators. And she said, over my dead body will I ever use one of those things. But what actually happened is that she caught herself in her own judgment about people with disabilities. And then she didn't want to be seen as that she saw them. So that, what it did is made me aware of how mobility devices emphasize the disability and create a social divide between people with and without disabilities. And that instantly became a justice issue for me. If I were in the business of selling bikes, I wouldn't be in this business. I use the Alinker as a vehicle for change. Every business plan starts with what the problem that you're solving is. Like, I don't have a problem, but I do see that our society creates symptoms that are problematic for people. So if you call what we call healthcare sick care and use the right language, it creates awareness about what is real healthcare then? And to me, real healthcare breaks down in mobility, community, and healthy food. And so we use our business to create access to mobility, to community, and slowly by slowly also to access to healthy food. And so with the Alinker community, people started calling it the Alinker family. That wasn't done by us. And then we created an Alinker Facebook group, and there's more than 750 Alinker users of the only 4,500 that are out there in the world. But 750 of them are actively engaged on a Facebook group, sharing which events they're doing, 10K runs, 5K run, training for a marathon, doing all sorts of stuff. They're meeting each other when they're in the same state. So when people get to hang out with each other again, because there's a common denominator, we walk differently or we move differently, and now we move differently on the Alinker. And all of a sudden, it's about how we can have fun together instead of oh my God, this is a heavy life with all the disabilities in isolation. The moment we started going online, I took a Shopify account. And so I've been on Shopify from the beginning, really. And it's just an easy platform to build a website. We do everything on Shopify. And we expanded to other geographic regions with Shopify as well. And especially during the pandemic, Shopify has really stepped up in building a community. We've been part of the Shopify for Startups accelerator program, but that was a fantastic experience, exposure to a lot of back-end support materials, stuff that you can integrate, and we're at the point we've just engaged with a new marketing company that is going to build our new website, and that will probably on the Shopify Plus. It's not just for people with disabilities. We will all face disabilities, so we need to make that a safer space together.